Well, the Sterling tape leaked at a time of great change in the NBA, as you heard there. Players like LeBron James went out and spoke about social issues, and the Donald Sterling remarks pushed them to take a further stand. Take a listen to this.
7 years earlier, in 2008, when Donald Sterling was in the middle of his housing discrimination lawsuit with the Department of Justice, the NBA was still a league where the players remained relatively quiet on political issues.
You know, I remember when LeBron James had a teammate who was protesting about what was going on in Darfur, and they asked LeBron about it, and he was like, I need to do more research. No comment.
But then LeBron James did that research and chose to comment.
James says he will help raise awareness about China's role in Sudan.
There should be some kind of light shined upon it, and as athletes, our word is so strong that a lot of people listen to it.
He had realized something. His voice as a player mattered. With millions of fans around the world, he had the power to influence.
Matt, considering how the reaction of the players, I think, pushed Silver to have to act quickly, do you think that this event was a turning point in the player empowerment movement that's happening?
I think so. I think we found our voice at that point. I think we had it a little earlier, but we hadn't really exercised the strength of it. And, hats off to LeBron, because he's always been one of the most outspoken superstars we've seen in professional sports. And he always, like you said, does his research and knows what he's talking about. And we appreciate that because he opens the doors for players like myself and other guys that aren't superstars to be able to have our platform and speak. So it was definitely a turning point. And like I said, for the Clippers and I think the NBA as a whole, probably one of the, best and worst thing that happened, because listening to her podcast, they tried to kick him out year 2, almost 38 years ago, you know what I mean? So he was on the brink of being kicked out, and, he finally got caught slipping. And like I said, I think a lot of fans, after they got over the fact of, how gruesome what he was saying, that they were happy that, we're on to a new page. And Bomber's an amazing guy, his energy alone. And
it's such an amazing difference, like that montage showed. My gosh.
I was sitting in the crowd when he did that press conference for Paul George and Kawhi, and he did not need a microphone.
Right.
I mean, we could hear him. He was loud enough. One of the things that I like when I talk to players about how different this era is, though, is when you came into the league, even if you had opinions on things, there was this sense that you weren't really safe in sharing them, especially if you're a role player who's not a superstar and maybe doesn't have a guaranteed contract waiting or a place in the league. Like, how different was it for you when you came in the league talking about social issues versus now?
Well, that's kind of always been my problem anyway. I kind of spoke regardless.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean? So that could have played a part. But it's just a huge difference. Like I said, I think it took, LeBron coming out and doing what he does and other stars doing it, and you got to think how much heat they took. The shut up and dribble and all this kind of stuff came about, and, that's LeBron James. So I can only imagine what would have happened to someone else. But I think, like he said as well, we have a tremendous platform, and when we speak, people listen, and we can definitely have a hand in affecting change and causing change and bringing awareness to stuff. And I think, like I said, when superstars do it across this platform of sports, it's amazing.
Well, the NBA does it, but I know your previous sport that you were also a pretty good high school player in with football,
right.
Things are very different.
Yes.
Do you track that, and do you have a sense of why things are different in the NBA than they are in the NFL?
I just think there's more. The NBA is branded stars more, I think, and more as individuals. Because, one or two individuals on a 5-man rotation can change the effect of a game. One player in the NFL can't really change an entire out. You need the rest of your teammates to be effective. So I think that kind of plays into the notion of, star-ish situations. But the NFL needs to. They got a lot of bright personalities, a lot of intelligent guys out there, and they need to start empowering their players more.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.